Pollock goes up to get it, flies it to right, on the track, turns and watches it go. A.J. Pollock the other way with a 3-run shot.
Welcome back to The Dish. Thanks everyone as always for joining us on Dodgers YouTube page as well as their social channels. I'm Rowan Kavner. I'm joined here by one of the newest Dodgers, although it's been a little while here now that you've been in the Dodger blue here. A.J. Pollock, thanks so much for joining us here. I know it's been a pretty fun second half at least for you here. Kind of really an unbelievable start for you. 10 games, almost hitting 400 in that span, 4 home runs, really showing the power. How excited were you just to be back in action after having to sit through, I know, a lengthy process of being out there?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it wasn't the way I drew it up to start my Dodger career, on the field, and then also just having a wacky injury like that. But, it's great. I'm honestly just watching the guys out there playing some unbelievable baseball and just kept me motivated and just was itching to get back. And when I got back, I felt like I just wanted to help contribute to the team. And it's been fun so far. I know it's only been a couple games, but it's been a lot of fun just to get out there and play ball again. I
know it's so weird. You mentioned kind of injury, but you felt good for so much of it. And I think you had said the weight was the hardest part, even more than the rehab or the recovery. For people who don't know, obviously you had the infection, had to get that cleaned out. But it wasn't even just the right elbow injury. You have a PICC line, which is basically a catheter through your left bicep, and that was 6 weeks, I think, that you were attached to that. Are you able to do anything at that point? I mean, what can you do to even stay in shape to be able to perform the way that you have so far?
That was scary when they said 6 weeks. I have to have that in. I didn't think I could do it, honestly. You don't want that thing to move and then, have another infection. So yeah, when you have a foreign element in your arm and stuff, it's not fun. And it definitely kind of slowed me down a little bit, but we did as much as we could. The guys here were pretty aggressive, and whatever we were allowed to do, we did. And when that thing came out, it was go time.
What kind of stuff do you have to do to stay on top of that? Because obviously, an infection and getting antibiotics, you have to be pretty diligent about how you handle that.
Yeah, well, we had a nurse that came every morning for the first week, and then she taught my wife how to do it. And so that was nice because I didn't have to wait on someone to show up in my house to do it. So that part was every morning I had to do the antibiotics. And then when I got to the field, it was weird because I didn't have a whole lot with, we obviously had a wound on my right arm that we kind of had to make sure it was clean and, was healthy. But, I was doing a lot of lifting, a lot of just staying in shape stuff with Brandon McDaniel and our strength coach. It was a lot of that, but then I had to back off a lot because I wasn't allowed to sweat. So it was short bursts of lifting weights and then resting for a couple minutes. Not a fun way to lift, that's for sure.
I know this is a different experience for you after basically the last decade of your life in one place, in one major league place. You talked about the training staff, you've talked about how they may do things a little bit differently here. I know you had mentioned when guys are coming back, like you have a sim game and they're flying minor league players in, and that's just different. What's kind of been the most eye-opening or interesting thing about being in a new place and seeing how someone else does it, would you say?
Very team, everyone was together on it. Nobody had a different opinion. It was all, let's get together. A lot of times they would bring me in, everyone, up to the top, down to the training staff, everyone, and we just, what do we want to do? Where do we want to go from here? I thought that was really cool. It was pretty unique having, when I first got injured and, my flight got in at 12:30 at night, it's pretty unique having a trainer picking me up, stay in the hospital with me the entire time. I mean, Andy Odovic would bring me there. He was hanging out with me and my wife until 4 o'clock in the morning. He went back here and slept for 2 hours, came back to the hospital because he wanted to talk to the doctors when they came in the morning. And he did that every single day, every single night. It's pretty amazing. It was awesome. I know it helped out me. I know it helped out my wife. It was just a really family kind of feel, like he had someone in their family was in the hospital and everyone was just super supportive and encouraging. And it was amazing. I'm very, very grateful for that.
Obviously, the team has performed really well, but to be able to contribute to that, does it make you feel kind of more part of it, that you're able to play like the way that you have here in the start, at least in the second half here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I came in here, I wanted to do my part and help this team win. And like I said in the beginning, it didn't really go that way. And, I was just kind of staying the course. And then all of a sudden I had a crazy infection and had to go deal with that. Everyone was just so encouraging, from Doc to the players, Andrew, our front office, everyone was just amazing. And that definitely helped when I came back. It was just pressure was off. The team's doing really well. Just kind of get in there and just kind of contribute any way you can. And I think it's helped out a lot.
Way back there and gone.
I know you got to know these guys already in April, before the injury in April and March and spring training. I also know you got to play a little bit of guitar in spring training. I know we saw David Freese in the band. Was that fun for you? Is that kind of a different experience? It seemed like every day there was kind of something kind of different and fun going on at spring training with you guys.
That was incredible. Spring training was so much fun. Usually it's fun, but there's also a part where it becomes a grind, and you're just like, okay, we're playing 35 games. We're all ready after 10. But no, Doc did a great job. He would bring guys up in front of the team and they'd have to do some fun, slightly embarrassing, but more kind of ice-breaking type stuff. And, it's usually the rookies, but he brought on some new guys and just anyone. It wasn't rookies, it was veterans and, coaches, and it was awesome. It was great. And, when they asked us to do it, it was cool that I got to do it with a group of guys and we all had fun with it.
I watch the world float to the dark side of the moon. I can't wait to watch Bellinger get platooned. I don't mind what happens now and then, as long as I don't spend the whole year in the pen.
We went on a search for a drummer, and we had our minor league coordinators scounging the minor league side for a good drummer, and they got Mark Washington, and he was probably the best the best, no doubt, musician out of anyone. So we're glad we had him. It was just a lot of fun. It was cool. I would do that again for sure if you asked us. And never know. Stripling might be right in.
He's going to be hiding behind the corner with his phone out, ready to record you anytime.
He's got some material. He wrote that song in about 20 minutes.
Oh, that was all him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just played, yeah.
Fergie stumbled in and got some wins. CT and Joe Flacco look like twins. Who knows more English, Kenta or Hunje?
When did you learn guitar? Is that a new hobby, or have you always kind of been able to pick that up?
I've played it since freshman year in high school, and it's just kind of like I'll get into a couple months where I'm just really into it, and then a couple months where I don't even pick it up. I like it in baseball because I'll bring it on the road, and when you have a couple hours in the hotel, I can just instead of just sitting there, I can kind of do something different. I really enjoy it. I love music. If you get to play with another teammate, it's a lot of fun too.
I'm going to have, that's a little off the field questions. I know our fans wanted to ask some questions as well, so I'm going to have you draw a couple of these here. You can read it out. If you can read it, I can read it too if you can.
It's your handwriting. No, it's not bad. What's the best thing about living in LA? It's very active. I think it's just a fun, active place to be. You got the ocean right there. The weather's amazing. There's a lot of things I like about LA for sure. I loved Arizona, but as you know, in the summer in Arizona, it's 120 degrees and you don't have water. So, you can jump in the ocean here. It's 75 degrees is amazing.
All right, we can go rapid fire.
Rapid fire. With your wife being from Australia, have you split your off-season life between the two locations? Yes, we travel a lot to Australia. Her whole family lives there now. Love it. It's like a second home to me. It's pretty similar to LA. It's very active. Everyone loves the being along the coast. And we're going to go back, I think, this year. We usually try to go back most years, maybe every other year.
Is her family still mostly over there?
Yeah, our whole family.
All right, I'm going to read these because I don't know if you can read my handwriting here. Anything you miss about Notre Dame?
Anything I miss about Notre Dame?
That's the full question.
Of course.
You have to start the entire way. Everything you ever have missed about Notre Dame.
What do I miss about Notre Dame? Obviously the football. The weekends in football are amazing. Just a really cool buzz around campus. It's just a fun place. I know a lot of good people there, and of course, I have a lot of things I miss about Notre Dame.
Is most of your family still on the East Coast?
Yeah, most of all my friends and family are Connecticut, and my parents they kind of do the snowbird thing between Connecticut and Florida.
All right, we'll keep going here. A couple more, we'll get you out of here. Has anyone, this one's a little off kilter. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Will Forte? I actually have some pictures. If you
Will
want.
Forte.
I don't know that I see
right,
it.
let me Google
I don't
it.
know
I don't
that I
know.
see it, but here we go.
Okay. Oh yeah, that guy. Was it Magruder? McGruber?
You can say yes or you can say no if you don't see it.
I haven't seen that before, but hey, he's pretty funny, so sure.
All right, there we go. All right, the last one here, and I like this one too. Why did you choose The Chain as your walk-up song, and can it stay forever?
Number 11, A.J. Pollock.
No, I'm always looking for different walk-up songs. I'm kind of an old school. I love classic rock. I love Fleetwood Mac. I don't know, I just like the vibe, but hey, it could change very quickly.
Was it your walk-up song last year too? Was it new?
No, my walk-up song last year was Gary Clark Jr., Come Together. I've kind of been all over the place.
We'll see if we can stick with The Chain here. Maybe Alex Verdugo could use that because it seems to work out well for him.
He's got a lot of chains.
He
too.
probably doesn't know who Fleetwood Mac is, though. I don't know.
No chance.
Kind of before his time.
No
All right,
chance.
well, we'll see. That's AJ Pollock. Thanks so much for joining us on The Dish. Hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about the new Dodger outfielder. AJ, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.